What's up, guys? It's MMA Analyst here to give you my betting picks for UFC 139. Let's get right down to it. The main event, Maurício Shogun Rua versus Dan Henderson. Now, you guys probably know by now that Shogun's one of my favorite fighters and all of that good stuff. But when it comes down to betting, I wouldn't put any money on Shogun. I'm not saying you should put money on Dan, but I wouldn't put money on Shogun. Just because he's very inconsistent lately, and I won't be putting any money on Shogun. If you do want to bet on a solid underdog, you're looking at Dan Henderson plus 125, that wouldn't be a bad idea. He definitely could tire Shogun out. He could end up winning by decision. He could end up, once Shogun is tired, finishing him. Dan Henderson could end up losing. He could go out there and get submitted. That's going to be difficult. He could get knocked out. Also going to be difficult. And he could just lose to a very in shape, ready to go 25-minute Shogun. That's also it's going to be a possibility. Shogun is the favorite, and I understand why he is the favorite. But to put money on him against Dan Henderson is questionable. This is not a pick for Dan Henderson. I'm just saying that it is a very close fight, one where putting money on the underdog might not be a bad idea. It is a do not bet with little asterisks. This is something where you want to put it by itself. Don't put it with a whole bunch of other stuff because, it might end up screwing up some parlays or whatnot. But if you did want to put some money on Dan Henderson, I wouldn't necessarily be against that pick. I don't think it'd be a bad bet at all. But my official word on this is a do not bet. Wanderlei Silva versus Cung Le. This is going to be a gold pick for Wanderlei Silva. This is an underdog. Wanderlei Silva right now, he's looking at plus 120. Also another pick'em fight. I mean, you're looking at plus 120, minus 130, minus 140. That basically means it's very close, and the bookies and the lines makers don't really know what to do. They just know that it could go either way, and I do think that's the way this fight is. However, I do think that Wanderlei Silva will be able to overpower, and just by overpower, I just mean swarm Cung Le. I think that he's going to win this fight. I think a good way to put money on this fight, just to be safe, would be that it does not go the full 15 minutes. I mean, that's a good bet. To think that Wanderlei Silva will win or lose this fight without knocking somebody out or getting knocked out, and vice versa with Cung Le, very unlikely. This fight, heck, it's a diamond pick that it's not going to go 15 minutes, but I don't have that, so I'm just letting you know. I don't think this fight's going to go 15 minutes. I do think it's even very likely, especially if Wanderlei Silva wins, that it's over in the first round. So that's not a bad bet either, taking that fight is finished in the first round. So Wanderlei by TKO in the first, or Wanderlei wins in the first round, I think that's a solid bet. If Wanderlei doesn't win in the first, there's a very strong possibility that he does not win the fight, because maybe he's unable to actually hit Cung Le, and maybe Cung Le is being elusive and counter punching and all of that stuff. But I don't see Cung Le being able to counter punch and land a whole bunch of shots on Wanderlei without Wanderlei going out anyways. End of the day, excuse me, it is a gold pick for Wanderlei Silva. This fight, I think, will not go the full round, full 15 minutes, and do with that as you will. Urijah Faber versus Brian Brilz. Again, another toss-up of a fight. I am going to go with Urijah Faber. Minus 230. I don't know if it's... that seems like a little steep for such a... I think it's a close fight, but it is going to be a platinum pick for Urijah Faber. I think he'll be able to not get knocked out. I don't think he's going to get out-grappled. I don't think we're going to go 15 minutes, and at the end of the 15 minutes, Brian Brilz will have, stuffed takedowns and outstruck Urijah Faber. I think this is, if Brian Brilz wins this fight, it's going to be by knockout. If Urijah Faber wins this fight, it could be by submission. It could be by decision. And I do think it's going to be by decision. Urijah Faber, platinum pick, being able to implement his game plan and not get caught. All right, next fight, Martin Kampmann versus Rick Story. Another close one. Martin Kampmann, the underdog at plus 110. Rick Story, the favorite at minus 130. Basically, again, what's going to happen? It's really a toss-up. Martin Kampmann could come out here and implement a solid game plan, stuff takedowns, and basically render Rick Story defenseless. Rick Story could also come out here, take down Martin Kampmann, tire him out, and do that all day. And that's kind of what the Vegas lines makers are kind of banking on, that Rick Story is going to use his wrestling to outwork Martin Kampmann. Martin Kampmann hasn't fought since March 3rd, so about 9 months ago roughly. It was a loss to Diego Sanchez. He doesn't smart fight. He will allow others to implement their game plan, and that's the reason why I'm going to go with Rick Story. It's going to be a gold pick, Rick Story. Actually, you know what? Let's switch that up. It's going to be a silver pick. That's how not sure about this fight I am. It's really if Martin Kampmann is on point, 100% ready to go, then I don't think Rick Story stands a chance. But it also requires Martin Kampmann to stay smart for 15 minutes, etc., etc. It's going to be a pick for Rick Story, silver pick, very, very close match. This is big for Rick Story. A win over Martin Kampmann would be huge, and this is big for Martin Kampmann because his third loss in the UFC in a row. That's going to be a tough situation for him. Next fight, Stephan Bonnar versus Kyle Kingsbury. This is a brawler in Stephan Bonnar versus I don't know. I wouldn't want to call Kyle Kingsbury a brawler. He has been in a couple brawls or a couple good fights. 2 fight of the night appearances out of his last 3 fights in the UFC. I don't see Stephan Bonnar being able to do much in this fight, to be honest. I see him throwing a lot of punches, doing a whole lot of hoopla, but not really adding up to much. And at the other side, I have Kyle Kingsbury, landing the better strikes, being the stronger grappler, and just kind of riding out, not coasting, but at the end of the day, getting a decision. Probably maybe even a split decision. But to be honest, if Kyle Kingsbury utilizes his weapons properly, he probably shouldn't give up a round. The only thing that could possibly happen to Kyle Kingsbury, I think, is that he goes out there and Stephan Bonnar just outworks him, just keeps coming forward, keeps throwing, kind of like a light heavyweight version of Leonard Garcia, and maybe stealing a decision. But it is going to be a gold pick for Kyle Kingsbury. As you can see, it's a tough night with these odds. But at the end of the day, like I said, bet 2 fights together, a couple straight up, and you could definitely win money at the end of the day. Ryan Bader versus Jason Brilz. This is going to be a platinum pick for Ryan Bader. If Ryan Bader, I don't think Ryan Bader is as good as they ever said he was. Going into that John Jones fight, they tried to make us believe that this was going to be a close fight. I knew that was just not the case. Going into the Tito Ortiz fight, they made it seem like Tito had no chance. I stated blatantly that Tito could end up winning that fight because Ryan Bader, a lot of his stuff is hype. All of that said, not trying to take anything away from Ryan Bader. Against Jason Brilz, he should be and will be better than Jason Brilz at everything. He can't possibly... this will be his third fight, his third loss in a row. He really needs to win it. His hands, although sloppy, are more powerful and better than Jason Brilz. His wrestling, although not that great, is still better than Jason Brilz. All around, Ryan Bader is better than Jason Brilz. I think the only way Ryan Bader loses this fight is if he lets Jason Brilz dictate the pace and fight scared, as if he doesn't want to lose that third fight. And in that case, Jason Brilz could very well send Ryan Bader packing, or at least into a fight, his next fight being 0-3 in his last 3 fights. But I do think Ryan Bader will get the win. I am picking Ryan Bader, and again, it is a platinum pick. All right, Michael McDonald versus Alex Soto. This is going to be a do not bet. Minus 420 for Michael McDonald is just too much for me, considering what he's done so far. A very questionable win over Chris Carriazo, split decision. And then fight of the night against somebody who had 7 days of preparation, Edwin Figueroa. So anyways, a do not bet for Michael McDonald versus Alex Soto. Chris Weidman versus Tom Lawlor. This is going to be a platinum pick for Chris Weidman. Simply, he will probably hit the center of the octagon and repeatedly go for takedowns and most likely repeatedly get the takedowns. Tom Lawlor's a wild fighter. He likes to brawl. A lot of entertaining stuff, but in this fight, he's going to need some serious takedown defense. He's going to need to be able to be ready to go for 15 minutes, and I see Chris Weidman being able to basically take him down over and over again. Maybe get a submission later in the fight, but I'm just going to go with Chris Weidman, platinum pick. Next on the card, Gleison Tibau, Rafael dos Anjos. Tough. This is probably the toughest one on the card. Gleison Tibau, he loves to go out there, get the takedowns. Recently, he's been going for takedowns, getting the takedowns, kind of allowing the fight to get back to the feet. By that, recently, I just mean like he hasn't been smothering all that much. It didn't work that well against Jim Miller, against Kurt Pellegrino and Rafael Oliveira. It worked well, getting the submission against Rafael Oliveira. I do think against Dos Anjos, he will get the takedowns. It will be tough. Obviously, the difficulty here is Dos Anjos, is he going to be able to catch Gleison Tibau with that knockout punch? I don't think he will. I'm going to be betting on Gleison Tibau getting the fight to the ground. The big problem is that third round when Gleison Tibau is tired in every dang fight. Is he going to get caught with some kind of, some kind of choke, whatever it may be, Darce choke? Is he going to lose his position and Dos Anjos jump on his back and get that rear naked choke or whatever it may be? He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, as with Gleison Tibau. I mean, really, this very well, Uriah Faber versus Brian Bowles looks like it could be fight of the night. Gleison Tibau versus Dos Anjos could also be fight of the night. But Tibau does do a lot of laying and praying, so I'm going to take that back. I don't think this could be fight of the night. Don't put that on that. But anyways, it is going to be a gold pick for Gleison Tibau, but by decision, absolutely. Miguel Torres, this is my diamond pick. He's had some tough times. He'll be taking on Nick Pace. Miguel Torres, 36-1 going into his loss to Brian Bowles. And then his loss to Joseph Benavidez after that. They gave him 2 softballs in Charlie Valencia and Antonio Benuelos. And then a tough one, my greatest pick to date, the diamond pick, Demetrius Johnson over Miguel Torres. And now it's basically like, all right, well, we've got Miguel Torres. He needs to get back on the winning track. He can't be losing, 4 out of his last 5 fights. Let's give him Nick Pace. Nick Pace really doesn't stand a chance. All around, Miguel Torres is better than him at everything. If Nick Pace loses this fight, then I don't know what is up next for Miguel Torres. Diamond pick for Miguel Torres. Matt Brown, Seth Baczynski, platinum pick for Matt Brown. I think he'll be able to basically do what he does, brawl, push the pace, but not really have to pay for it against Seth Baczynski. He's faced some difficult times in the past, recent fights, but I think Seth Baczynski won't be able to repeat that. And then Shamar Bailey versus Danny Castillo is a do not bet. So there you go. Good luck, UFC 139. It's a very exciting fight on paper, very close. Opportunities are there to win money. As always, opportunities are there to lose money. But good luck again. MMA, it's important. Peace.